Moving on then to item number B, second reading of CUP 12-01. Mr. Davis.
CUP 1201 is a conditional use permit for a house of worship, specifically Forest Hills Baptist Church. The site is at 2849 Mountain View Road in Snellville. The map on the display is a site plan that the church has prepared to outline its growth plans and to show us not only what they wish to do at the CUP level at this time, but what their long-term plans are. The site, the Snell construction operation is here to the north of the site. It's residential around the area. The church has been in place there for several years. This is an expansion by the church. The two red buildings exist. The blue building is the first one to be brought up for new construction. The small green building is a second building that they have planned. The area in the rear of the church, which on that screen shows up as a giant green triangle, is athletic field and park space. The church has plenty of parking area out there now, even if they add additional services to the area. What they're looking at is adding a 5,400 square foot educational building. That would be this one, with a on their property. Their property is just a shade under 8 acres. Right now, they're looking for 3 variances along with the conditional use permit. They are looking for a sign variance to add another monument sign down in this area at the intersection. There's a small monument sign now up back off the road here by the main entry. The second request is to allow the construction crew for the new building to utilize their RVs and live on the site during the construction. This is a bit unusual with a construction project, but this is because they are using a traveling ministry which goes from church to church providing construction services for the churches to give them more bang for the buck on their building. And the third request is that they be allowed to use a standing seam metal roof on the new building, which is not part of our current code, but it is in keeping with what is on the existing building. The planning department recommendation was that we approve this with the conditions that the site be developed in accordance with the plan provided, that variation from that concept plan would require a modification of the CUP. The new signage would require a sign permit, of course, and a building permit, and it needs to meet the requirements of the sign ordinance in effect at the time of its submittal. Existing signs are considered to be grandfathered, and new signs will have to be 15 feet high or less and no more than 225 square feet in area. The traveling construction trailers may be utilized for sleeping purposes of their construction crew, but they will be parked in the back area here, and they will be removed as soon as the project is finished. If there are any questions, I'd be glad to try and answer them.
How long is construction expected to take?
90 to 120 days.
Thank you.
The only other question I have is about the sanitation of those RVs. Have they made accommodation for that? Is that something that's agreeable to the city?
Yes.
Any further questions of Mr. Davis? Mr. Davis, is the applicant present?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you wish to address the council? You don't have to unless you want to. Does anyone have any questions of the applicant? Do I have a motion on CUP When I take public comment, you can address the council. Do I have a motion on CUP 12-01?
I'll make a motion, Madam Mayor, that we approve CUP 12-01 with the conditions set down by the Planning Commission and the City Planning Department.
There is a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Witz.
I'll
Is there a
second.
second? Second by Councilman Sabah. Any discussion from the council? I'll now open the floor to public comment. Again, please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to this agenda item only.
Good evening. My name's Louis Partain. I live at 2321 Kimberly Way. I lived there for about 13, 14 years. I'm a painter by trade, and I'm also in the Painters Union. But there's a lot of construction workers out of work in the Atlanta area. Just saw an article in the paper the other day about 56,000 are out of work. And in the course of my work with the building trades in Atlanta, I find it surprising that we're having to bring folks in from out of town to work to build a 5,400 square foot building, which is not much bigger than a big house. And that's the only comment I want to make.
Any additional public comments? Applicant has an opportunity to respond if they choose.
My name is Dr. Ray Warren. I live at 107 Laurelway Drive in Loganville. The reason why we're using this ministry team is that they're providing the labor free. There is no cost for their labor.
Excuse me, sir. Do you accept the conditions as stated with the Planning Commission and Planning Department?
I'm sorry, say again?
Do you accept the conditions that were stated by Mr. Davis?
Yes, and
Okay.
the planning department has been exceptionally thorough with helping us and working with us.
Thank you. Any further discussion by council? See none, I will call the question. All those in favor of passing CUP 12-05 with the conditions as stated by the Planning Department and the Planning Commission signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion carries. Moving on to item number C,